Testing. And I think we are live. Yep. Okay. Well, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Daley Special. I'm Dale. And I know my error. Realized my error. Next week is Black Friday. It's not this week. But hey, screw it. We're going to start it today. So let's kick it off with a Dreamwear Tech. Local South African specials today. So one of the things that I found was this Asus router is really good price. Not a bad price for this router. If you want a Wi-Fi 6 router, this will do you just fine. Oh, sorry, this one's not Wi-Fi 6. I do apologize. This one's Wi-Fi 5. I've got a Wi-Fi 6 coming later. This is a really nice budget router and it'll do you just fine if you've got normal average requirements. Then we've got this one, which is really not bad. If you want to get Battlefield 2042, don't know if you want to. Been playing it for a week. It's a bit, yeah, neither here nor there. But if you're going to get the game anyway and you want a nice 500 gig NVMe drive with that, this is not a bad deal. The game's $1,000 anyway. So adding another 500 gig NVMe PCIe Gen 4 Western Digital drive, this is a really nice drive, especially for the price. So yeah, this is not a bad deal at Dreamwear Tech. Okay, moving on. We've got some Rebel Tech specials. This is not a bad special. I'm actually thinking of picking up this special. This is a really nice power supply if you're running high-end hardware like RTX 3090s. If you're planning on running the new Intel Gen with a 6900 XT or an RTX 3090, or running a lot of drives, that sort of thing, this is a power supply that'll carry you. It's platinum rated, fully modular, Cooler Master brand you can generally trust. And yeah, this is a really good discount. This is a really good price for a 1200 watt power supply. Moving on, we've got a Logitech Pro X Superlight. This is the new one. I'm not sure this mouse comes in at like a stupid lightweight. I actually think it's around 60 grams, if I'm not mistaken, or in the 60s, in the low 60s. Really nice mouse, really expensive mouse, but this is a really nice price for it. Yeah, so if you look at picking this up, I think they've got the black one for roughly around the same price. Also have another special of it a bit later, actually. Yeah, so that's coming up again. Got that from a different brand, from a different retailer. Then moving on to Eve Tech, the Thrustmaster. If you're looking for a really high-end controller, this is also the eSwap controller, so you can swap modules. You can buy them, you can change them and chop and change them. You can have your analogs where you want. If you want the PlayStation style, if you want the Xbox style, you can obviously swap those two around. You got your Xbox style of controller. This controller is compatible with PC, and as far as I know, it is compatible with Xbox and PlayStation as well. But just confirm that before you pull the trigger if you're thinking of getting this for your console. I know it's PC compatible, but yeah, they don't. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, PlayStation and PC. Okay, so PS4. No confirmation on PS5. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice PC controller, this is a really good choice. Yeah. Then this Alienware monitor. Beautiful esports monitor. Only 25 inches, unfortunately, so it's not the biggest one, but it is 240 hertz refresh rate. It has G-Sync and FreeSync, and it comes in at under 5,000 Rand. This is not a bad deal. This, if you're looking for a really high refresh rate, nice gaming monitor, you don't have necessarily the most powerful GPU if you're running a 1660 or even like a 1070 or even a 1060. This is not a bad monitor for you. Anything above that sort of spec of GPU will start driving 1080, especially your esports titles. You'll push far beyond 100 hertz and frames per second, and probably far beyond 144 hertz. So having the 240 hertz is definitely a bonus. This is a really good monitor. I highly recommend it if you're looking at a new, and you're not too bothered about size. There are some monitors coming on that's a little bit on the bigger side, but we'll talk about them just now. Going to take a lot. If you're looking at picking up a new Xbox controller, not a bad deal. You do get Far Cry New Dawn, and it's about $300 cheaper than what a normal controller is alone. So the normal controllers are on special for the same price, but for this price, I would say take this one, get the game. If you want it, play the game. If you don't want it, trade it in at BT Games or sell it on bid or buy or whatever. And yeah, save some money on a controller. Razer Viper Mini, really good mouse. Now you guys can only see at the time of recording this or streaming this, there is only 20 left. Okay, so if you want to jump on this, This is a really nice mouse, good special, good quality mouse. A lot of people like it. There is the wireless variant. Unfortunately, it's a little bit on the pricey side still. So this is a good mouse for the price. Then, if you want your Galaxy Buds Pros, if you're a Samsung fan and you like your Galaxy Buds and that, I would say this is a really good special. They do have the violets as well, going for about 200 Rand more than the normal Pro Black, but these are really good earbuds and a little bit on the expensive side, but hey, that's what you pay for premium products. According to Takealot, this is a 20% off. Well, that's debatable, but it is a really good price. Then for a microphone, this is an absolutely fantastic microphone. For the price, nothing comes close to it. Not at this price. You can make up a lot of stuff that this microphone does, which is very similar to my Shure SM7B that I have here. However, this one has USB compatibility, so you don't need an expensive external audio interface to run it. It does have XLR capability. If you do eventually decide to go with something like a Go XLR or the Elgato XLR audio interface, or any other audio interface for that, if you want to go for a Scarlett 2i2 or whatever, this mic will do you just fine. For this price, this is a nice microphone and very upgradable with time, adding equipment to it and that. This is an incredible deal. Only 8 left at time of streaming this, so jump on this if you want a microphone. Then a really good special, crap, only 2 left. Only 2 left. This is, if you've got an Xbox One, PS5, this is the TV to get. If you have a 30 series NVIDIA GPU or a 6000 series AMD GPU, don't quote me on that. This is the TV to get. 4 HDMI 2.1 inputs, 4K at 144 hertz, OLED. I still remember a few years ago that Macro got the first OLEDs in South Africa, and they were 130,000 Rand a piece. This is now 17,000 Rand. This is the 48-inch version, so do notice that this is the smallest one. I see here the 55-inch is going for 25 grand, which is not really a special. This is more or less a normal price. So yeah. So yes, I would. What's this one? Not sure why there's a difference between the pricing on those two, because both are the same TV by just looking at them. Anyway, this is the special that we want to look at. This is what you want to see. If you're looking for an OLED TV in 48 inches is about right, your size. Jeez, you can't do much better than this at the moment. Then some Wootware specials. So the Dell 27-inch 1440p 165 Hz FreeSync Premium monitor. Not a bad price, especially if you're running an AMD GPU. FreeSync will help you quite a lot with those screen tearing issues and that. 165 Hz is a very decent refresh rate, especially at 1440p. Do note this is a VA panel, so your color accuracy may vary. Not necessarily recommended for content creation, but gaming, nothing wrong with it. Really nice, really nice panel. It is curved, just also be aware of it. It's a 1500R curve, which is not too aggressive, but it's still a curve. And yeah, not a bad price for 7 grand. Not bad at all. Moving on to another monitor. This is a bit of a premium one. This is the Odyssey G7 from Samsung. 1440p VA as well. However, this is a 240 Hz HDR 600 G-Sync compatible curved monitor. This monitor has a 1000R curve. Quite aggressive. So I use the 32-inch version of this monitor, which is not on special at the moment. Not worth that price, to be dead honest, but a very nice monitor nonetheless. This is, if you're in it for a premium monitor, if you want to buy something that's future-proof and that, and you're happy with a 27-inch size, and that, not a bad monitor to go for. I very rarely hit the limits of this monitor on an RTX 3090, so this monitor is going to last a very long time. Display HDR 600, meh. That's neither here nor there. I wouldn't recommend it to buy it if you're after HDR. Unfortunately, HDR is still a very premium product, and you'll pay quite a bit. Then, as mentioned, the G Pro X Super Light makes another appearance. This time for 2.5. So, can't remember what was our price at Eve Tech. Let's have a look quickly. Our price. Was it at Eve Tech? Well, we'll just rewind the video at some point and go check. So anyway, this one's going for 2.5. Still not a bad price for this mouse. They have the white and black for the same price. Not this is pretty much the gold standard when it comes to esports mice at the moment, but you do pay a premium. But for those that want to spend the money, this is the best you're going to get for your money. Then, for those looking for a wireless gaming headset for your Xbox, the Kiara wireless headphones, not the best headphone set out there, but also not the worst. You can do much worse. I see they've got the Kiara Pros here on special for 2.5. Not sure what the variation is. It's probably, can't see really much of a difference in the product by the looks of things. It's probably the quality of the mic and potentially battery life, something like that. So battery life's 15 hours. yeah, this one's got RGB, woohoo, on your headset, up to 20 hours without the RGB. If you don't give a crap about the RGB and that, not a bad price for a wireless headset for your Xbox. Really, really not bad, and a good quality item. So yeah, this is more on the wow expensive end, but yeah, this will work with pretty much everything. If I'm not mistaken, I know it works with quite a bit. But as far as I understand, it works with PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Well, definitely works with PC. This is a phenomenal wireless gaming headset. This thing is fantastic. Hey, Rowan. This thing is phenomenal, but you do pay a premium. As you can see, Wootware's discounted it quite significantly. So yeah, if you're in that market, this is a headset to consider. Do watch the reviews if you're going to drop that much money, though. Watch a few reviews so you get a good sense of different opinions on it before you pull that money. Onto GPUs. This is a tough one. It's very difficult to recommend GPUs nowadays with the pricing that is going on. This is the Gigabyte RTX 3080 Vision OC. I do use the RTX 3090 version of this card. It is a fantastic card. I cannot stress how nice this card is as far as acoustics go. And personally, I do like the aesthetics of the card as well. It's white, silver, and kind of a purplish color around the Gigabyte logo. If you've got a tinted window or something on your case, chances are it's just going to look kind of black anyway. So you don't, or gray, you don't really see the color that much. But it's a fantastic card. It really works really well acoustically. It is extremely quiet. So yeah, this is not a bad price for an RTX 3080 in current market. This is actually a really good price for a 3080 in the current market, especially this one. So yeah, have a look at that one if you're in the market for a GPU, which I know a lot of people are. Here's another one for very, very, very low price. So this is 23,000 Rand for this RTX 3080. This is a pallet. I cannot speak to the quality of the product. I've heard a lot of good things about pallet. So, but I've never personally used one, so I cannot speak to the quality as I could with a Gigabyte. As I say, I haven't heard bad things about them, and with the customer satisfaction and return rates, I'm sure you'll get some value out of this. This is a really, really good price for a 3080. This is a fantastic price for a 3080. Then moving into the 3080 Ti category. So if you're at the top end of the gaming spectrum, you're looking for one of these, this is a decent price. It's, again, current market, it's very, very difficult to find these things for what they should be going for, what they're actually valued at. This is pretty much one of the best deals you're going to find around at the moment. Yeah, 3080 Ti will get you whatever you want. It's pretty much the pinnacle of gaming performance at the moment. And yeah, 30 grand, yeah, probably what you'll pay for what you used to pay for a 2080 Ti in the previous generation anyway. So at least at the high end. And the Zotac one is a very good quality. I've also had experience with Zotac. Very, very, very good cards. And another 3080 Ti, the Galax HOF. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous video card. For some reason they don't get them in the US, but anyway, besides the point, we do get them in South Africa. This is a gorgeous video card. And these are generally really, really well clocked. So and they're really high, usually binned. I can't, don't quote me on that, but they usually have, this one's still got the physical little overclock button on the back. That's always interesting. Yeah, so you've got a dual BIOS system, as far as I understand. You've got 3 8-pin power. That's where that 1200 watt power supply comes into play, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to pair nicely with this one. So this is a fantastic card. I don't see the LED screen. They used to have an LED screen on the kind of on this part of the card. They used to have a screen that you could customize and that, and not sure if that's maybe just on the 3090 or something to that effect. But yeah, very, very nice card. Usually binned. They overclock really well in comparison. So yeah, this is not a bad deal for a 3080 Ti of that caliber. For the AMD people, we've got an RX 6700 XT Elite. Not a bad card. This is a really nice card from AMD. For 17.5 grand. Again, not what it should cost. I'd like to see something more around the 15 grand mark for something of this caliber. But in the current state, this is about as good as you're going to get for this quality of card. Really good looking cooler though. I do like Gigabyte does some really cool stuff with their coolers sometimes, and I really do like what they do sometimes. This is kind of stealthy yet not. Interesting. Anyway, then still staying on AMD with an RX 6800 XT from ASUS, the Tough brand. Now the Tough is usually the budget brand of ASUS. Usually your cheaper ones, although they tend to perform just as well as your higher-end brands. In fact, yeah, they cool generally just as well. The acoustics aren't bad, so it's a really good line of GPUs if you're looking at this. 24,200 Rand for an RX 6800 XT. Again, I would like to see this closer to 23 grand. Another grand off would have been nice, but this is not a bad price. Not a bad price for this caliber of card. Yeah, but I would say, yeah, if you had to pull the trigger now and you're in the market for an AMD GPU, this is not a bad one at the high end. Let's look at something a little bit lower end. We've got the XFX, the RX 6600. Not a bad budget card. Decent price, 8,700 Rand. I see they do have the 6600 XT. Let's see if that one's on special. It is actually for 2 grand more. Oh no, it's a grand more, sorry. Yeah, it's 1,000 Rand. Okay, yeah, then I would actually rather recommend this if you're in the market. The 6600, not a bad card. Not a bad card, but for 1,000 Rand more, I would fork out the extra bucks for the 6600 XT. That boost in performance is really worth the extra 1,000 Rand. Especially if when you're going to basically pay 9 grand already, you might as well just add, the 1,000 Rand and get that extra performance. I'm always really impressed with the clocks that AMD get out of their cores. Very interesting. Then moving on to motherboards. So we've got an Asus Prime Z590. If you're okay, not waiting for the new 12th gen processors, and you're not ready to fork out an absolute fortune, because they're not going to be cheap, and running those things is going to require a small aircon in your case. Yeah, then this is a really good motherboard. Not a bad price. Really not bad. 2,500 Rand for this motherboard is really not bad. It's got one PCIe Gen 4. It's got 3 M.2 slots. Let's see what else is nice about this. It's obviously got your HDMI display port for your onboard graphics. If you do have ever issues, those are fantastic for problem solving, and just especially if you're considering something might be wrong with your GPU. Oh, the onboard graphics is a lifesaver. Yeah, so I was wondering on the not sure what the VRM and power phase situation is on this board. Can't see with the, but yeah, good board, really good board for the price. If you're considering it, building an Intel system right now, not a bad board. Then on to CPUs. So we've got the Ryzen 5 5600X currently on special at Wootware for 5,400 Rand. Not a bad price for the CPU. Again, in current market. Yeah, there's talks of AMD's next line of CPUs. We'll see how that's going to pan out, and how that affects this. But this is a really good CPU. This CPU will last you an enormously long time. Yeah, so you've got 6 cores, 12 threads. It's a really nice CPU just for general gaming, whatever around the house, even light streaming. Not a bad CPU. Then getting to the nice Intel. Okay, so the i9 10850K. Some people love the CPU, some people hate the CPU. It's not a bad CPU, I would say, especially when you get quite a few thousand Rand off on it, and it goes nicely with that motherboard we just showed. So this is LGA 1200. It'll go nicely with that Asus motherboard, and yeah, not a bad price if you want to build a nice top end Intel gaming system. Not a bad CPU to consider. Then there is the 5900X. I personally use this CPU. The CPU is beautiful. They do have the 5800X on special for 8,000 Rand. And then they do also have the 5950X on special for 1,300. Or 13,000 Rand. I would personally go for the 5900X unless you've got a specific workload that requires the extra cores and threads on the 5950X, or that you're willing to sacrifice a little bit on the 5800X and save 1,500 Rand. The 5900X is a nice balance between the two. It is one of the best performing gaming wise as far as the 5000 series goes. In fact, actually, I think it is the best. It outperforms the 5950X in some games, probably not all, but anyway, it's very close together. And even the 5800X performs very similarly. The 5900X will just give you a little bit more room if you want to stream, if you want to do any workloads, if you're doing any rendering or modeling or engineering tasks. The 5900X might actually give you a considerable boost on that. 9.5 grand, it's not crazy cheap, but it's not a bad price. Then here is some Wootware power supplies. So we've got an EVGA 80 plus bronze, non-modular 750 watt budget power supply. Yeah, this is not bad for the price. This is really nice. It's a good quality power supply. It's $1,000 basically. 750 watts will carry pretty much anything you throw at it, bar the new Intel CPUs in like a 3090 or a 3080 Ti or something like that. If you've got a 3060 and say a 5900X or a 5600X, beautiful. This power supply will run you very nicely. This is non-modular, unfortunately. This is where you save some bucks. You pay that premium for modularity. We got a modular one coming up, so you'll see the price increase there. And then here we go, another budget option. This is a 600 watt, also EVGA, good brand. Really, really good brand and good warranties. They really and Wootware, I must say as well, personal experience, good warranty claim process, and really, really helpful. So you can buy with confidence. This is a nice budget power supply if you're building an esports rig. If you've got something like a 1660 Ti or a RX 6600 and pretty much almost any AMD CPU with those GPUs won't overload this power supply. This is a nice power supply, again non-modular, obviously, again budget, so keep that in mind. But for $780, not a bad power supply, and it's a nice, it'll last you a while. These power supplies, even the previous 751 as well, last you a long time, as long as you stay within the power limit, and Eskom is kind enough to not give you a lovely surge when they bring back your power. Last item on tonight's list, the Super Flower LEDX Platinum 1000 watt 80 plus platinum power supply. I do not know of, well, I've never worked with Super Flower myself. I know of them. I've done some research. It seems like they are quite trustworthy and it's good quality, but I've never worked with one, so I can't speak from personal experience. Apparently this is not in stock yet, but you can reserve stock. This is not a bad deal for a full 1000 watt platinum rated fully modular power supply. This is nice. This will handle whatever pretty much you throw at it, unless you're running a small NAS or something with a bunch of drives and a bunch of funky power sucking stuff. You can throw two 3090s and a 5950X at this thing, and it'll carry it no problem. So yeah, this is an interesting one. Yeah, so I'd like to hear back from you guys. If you could tell me in the comments if anybody's had any experience with Superflower. Pop me a comment down below. Let me know what's your experience if you've built a Superflower. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. We'll be uploading this as a YouTube video after the stream, and all the links to all the products will be down below. Have a fantastic weekend, and see you next week when it is actually Black Friday. Cheers.